That was different.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine, this is Americ.
Hello.
Welcome to our first Game of Thrones review!
Yoo-hoo!
Before we start, if you've been watching our reviews for a few seasons now, you might notice that Kenny is not here. He usually reviews the show with me, but Americ is here. And the reason is because we live too far from one another, so we can't actually do the review together.
But don't worry, Kenny is still among us.
We're gonna have live chat / Q&As every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, after each episode airs on Monday in this channel, HappyCool.
There you go.
Now let's move on to the premiere episode called The Red Woman. Not what I expected when I heard the episode was named The Red Woman, but we'll get to that, right?
Yeah.
First, let's start with Sansa / Theon / Brienne / Podrick.
Wow. I like the fact that it was realistic, the fact that they got caught so quickly, because realistically, they were going to get caught really quickly. And I also like the fact that Brienne, as she swooped in to try to save the day, kind of struggled. It was actually very difficult for her to take down all those soldiers, but Podrick...
Podrick is putting his lessons to use, right? Because Brienne has been teaching him.
Podrick has been stepping up. And we're also seeing a very different version of Theon that we're used to seeing, right? So he's braver, he's more confident, more courageous.
He's not Reek anymore. It feels like he's moving more towards being Theon again. Not Theon yet.
Yeah, but Theon was a coward, right? Like in general. Coward, So this is like more courageous than old Theon. So we're starting to see something different there. Yeah. But the best moment definitely has to be Sansa and Brienne.
Yes, finally coming together. So unfortunately, I think they want to take her to Castle Black. Probably not a good idea, although,
Does
never
Brienne know?
No, she wouldn't.
She would know.
She would know that he's dead, no. Nobody would know. Yeah. None of them would know at this point. But it certainly will probably lead to Sansa, being cleaned up like we saw in the photos and the trailers that were released, and her having a Stark sigil. So I think that's where...
All we know is that she's probably just going to go north.
Yeah.
We don't know where north, but north for sure.
Yeah. Moving on to Ramsay, who seems kind of torn up about Miranda's death. It's kind of torn up. I mean, not torn up to the point like he would waste her meat. Like, well, this is good meat. Throw it to the hounds, right? But I was like, this is as sad as you'll ever see Ramsay get. Like, I really loved her.
Is this how evil feels sadness?
Yeah. But I mean, just still throw it to the hounds.
You know what? Screw Ramsay. Ramsay is in for a tough time. First of all, he lost Sansa because he was a dick to her.
Yes.
And
More
now,
than a dick,
he was an evil bastard. And now he's gonna have to deal with the fact that he doesn't have the North if he doesn't have Sansa. Yeah. So he's like, oh, we're gonna get her. We're fine. I'm like,
are you,
bro? Are you? Also, speaking of bro, guess who's gonna have maybe a baby brother?
Yeah,
you.
We already knew that.
And
that's gonna happen.
Lord Bolton is very clear that if he has an heir,
Ramsay's gonna be like,
Yeah,
which, begs the question, will Ramsay possibly
He can't. If he does it, his dad is going to kill him.
Has that ever stopped Ramsay? Maybe he'll kill his dad and become like Warden of the North. Ramsay's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, definitely they both deserve some sort of justice, but I don't know. Is this the season where Ramsay gets killed? That's really the question here.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, I didn't think Joffrey was going to die, and, look at him, so...
He did last a few seasons, though.
Yeah, he did. Arya, still blind, but...
Getting some definite training.
Yes. Some daredevil training.
So, still not quite there, but I like the fact that, she's being tested. She's being tested.
Yes.
So you imagine, seeing Arya was a badass. Blind fighting Arya is going to be more of a badass. And we've seen a few clips here and there showing that she's going to
and if
game.
she regains her sight, well then all bets are off. Because, wow, Arya is going to be the most badass character. I mean, she's already pretty badass. But yeah, so good to see the House of Black and White hasn't given up on her.
Yet.
Yet. Marjorie, still rotting in that High Sparrow prison.
It's her last. This is it. Like,
You think so?
No, her and her brother are kind of done. Like, I'm sorry, that entire family and that storyline, they've been like plotting and everything, but this is where
They're really trying, you know.
They're really
she's
trying.
like, I want to be the queen.
Yeah.
First husband dies. Second husband dies.
I
Third
don't
husband.
I think
That didn't die, but she got caught.
I think the only way she survives this is she gets out of it and she doesn't want to be a queen. And she's like, peace, I'm out, not worth it, I'm gone, I'm done with this. That's the only way she survives.
I kind of think she still wants to be the queen. I mean, she did bring it up again in this episode. I think she's just going to go down.
Yeah.
I will go down with this ship.
Okay, right. She's going to go down.
She's gonna go down.
I think Marjorie, this is it for her. For sure.
Yeah, what about Loras?
Oh, please.
So, all right, are you predicting first death? I mean, well, I guess not first death, but like Marjorie will die this
yeah, Marjorie's gone.
And Loras.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Cersei and Jaime. So Cersei, you know, as much as we hate her, it was still really heartbreaking to see her realize that her daughter is dead. And just the way she talked about her, because she realizes that she's evil or she's not a nice person. She knows those flaws are in her, but she could see that Myrcella was like, no, she was good. She was a good person.
Yeah.
And I made her.
Yes.
So maybe I'm not
She's evil, but she loves her children. That's very clear. Absolutely very clear. But I also like the fact that in this particular scenario, where the scene between Cersei and Jaime was the one who's like, we need to like take revenge.
Yeah.
Like real, just revenge. And he's just very, very gung-ho, which is different than old Jaime. He was a little bit trying to be more reasonable, trying to think about this a little bit more, but at this stage he's like, I don't care.
His daughter
They're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And the war is coming.
Yes.
I just don't know where at this point, right? Between Dorne, between Winterfell, there's a lot of places that need to go to war. And also, even in their own backyard with the High Sparrow and his ilk, it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, Cersei kind of brought that on herself.
Basically, as Jaime says, fuck everyone who isn't us.
Dorne. Well,
Quite a
did
coup.
not expect, quite a
coup.
coup. Holy crap. Ellaria took things into her own hands. She wasn't satisfied by killing Myrcella. Only she decided, I'm going to kill Doran Martell, the prince, and his son. And just take over.
You know, I see where she was coming from. I think that she let her emotions, though, get in the way
Definitely.
of logic. Because now she's going to essentially go to war with an army that's far superior than theirs, who's highly, highly, highly motivated to kill every single one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's thought this one through.
It was definitely motivated by emotion because, I mean, you could argue that Ellaria Martell, that was kind of worth a response by them. But Prince Oberyn, as much as I love him and I'm still like sad that he died, he voluntarily decided to do the trial by combat. And one of them has to die. He lost. Yeah, it sucks, you know. Yeah, it's like, but
I don't think she cares. I don't think
of course she doesn't care because she's just really upset that he died, and then you know the people that killed Elia are now and they killed him too. It's just but
yeah, I think she's relying a little bit too much on the sand snakes
who still don't seem that powerful to me,
not that powerful. I think they're tricky. I think they're great assassins, but assassins don't win.
Yeah, they're very tricky. Speaking of that, Tristane. Why? Okay. At first, I thought, I think I gave him a little too much credit. When he decided to fight with Nymeria and turn his back on Obara, I thought, oh, he's tricking them. He's going to turn around and kill her, like pretending like he wants to fight her. But no, actually, it was Obara who was like, no, I'm just going to kill you. Which I kind of thought, like, why would you turn your back to her, though? Right?
Yeah, I totally saw that coming.
Tyrion and Varys trying to hold down Meereen from destroying itself, I guess.
I mean, props to Tyrion, right? He's definitely really, really using his A game to try and make this work. And he clearly is, on the good side of things. He does believe in Daenerys. He's not like trying to take over power for himself.
Yeah.
He's trying to
I think Varys made it really clear to him, like, we're never going to be in power.
Yeah.
We can advise the people who are in power.
No, for
and
sure.
that's
for
how
sure.
you influence.
That's how
the
you really
world.
change anything.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that they were really trying. But they're trying in an environment that's kind of hostile,
Yeah.
right? So clearly the Harpies are on a war path, and they're very, very good under the command of someone that we don't know yet.
Although it looks like Varys' little birds might be whispering something soon, so we might find out a little more about them.
For sure. And there's also the fact that now the ships are destroyed.
Yeah.
Ships are destroyed.
All of them.
Oh, but next week,
We burn it down. Oh, next week.
there is a
Dragons
possibility that
might
the
be
dragons
released.
might be released. Dragon! Dragons!
Daenerys, on the other hand, not doing too well. I mean, it's better than it could have been, but still not that great.
It's good to see Jorah and Dario.
Yeah, they're definitely
On
on
the-
the path to finding her. They
Yeah.
found the ring.
Yeah.
They figured out it's the Dothrakis that took her.
So that's already good.
Yes.
Right? So depending on... Jorah does know a lot about
Yes,
the
he
Dothraki.
does.
So he might know the fact that, well, if they find out who she is, they're going to treat her
Like a widow.
The widow. And he might deduce that's where they're taking her.
Yes.
Right? So he might get there. I mean, he's a smart guy. He doesn't have a lot of time, right? Because you see his
well.
scales are like progressing quite rapidly.
Yeah.
We don't know how that's gonna, affect him yet, but definitely gonna be a challenge. It is also interesting to see her now in this new environment, which is actually her old environment.
Yeah, interestingly enough.
But the fact that she's a widow of a Khal is essentially her own protection, her only protection in that environment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have not gone well for her at
Yeah.
all.
I did love the moment where the Khal is like, isn't it the best thing, like, to see a beautiful woman naked for the first time? And the other guy's like, well, that's fine. Okay.
It's one of the fives, guys. It's one of the fives. It was actually funny. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That funny.
Yeah, that was a funny
good
moment.
moment, yeah.
So for sure.
And now moving on to Jon Snow and Davos. Oh, okay. So I guess they're not bringing him back this episode because I really was hoping they were going to bring him back.
No, you know what? I'm sorry.
They're
but
toying with our emotions.
Yeah, they are totally toying with
Because
us.
they named the episode The Red Woman, but that's not what it was.
I know.
They're not going to.
And the worst part is they had released that scene, right? Where the Watch is trying to break through the door.
Yeah,
and we're like,
exactly.
episode 1, guys.
Yes.
That's the scene from episode 1. I'm sure of it. Wait a minute.
It's episode 2.
Fuckers. I mean, Jesus.
That came from the heart.
I was
Americans
like, no.
fuckers!
I was like,
Why do you do this to me?
It's so scary now because it's like, what's the deal? Because now the Red Woman, it's another level.
Well,
The Red
that is
Woman.
another level, yes.
She is old as F.
Yes, but that didn't seem to affect her powers.
No, but doesn't
But-
it though? It feels like now she's giving up.
Has she given up, though? I mean, I feel like that's just more of her facing her failures a little bit and seeing, like, her true self in a really long time being like, okay,
I'm just
I need
worried-
to take a step back.
I'm just worried
And-
Davos is not going to be able to rely on her as much as he thinks he can because he's putting some faith in
Yeah.
her abilities.
I love that Davos is like, well, we have the Red Woman, and they're like,
Do you? Do you have the Red Woman? I'm wondering.
Well,
I'm wondering if you have the Red Woman.
I
It's
just
a
think
legit
it's
question.
interesting that Davos, who was always against her, is the one who's kind of bringing her up as in, like, maybe we can use her. I mean, she does do some stuff. Although I will say that it seems that Melisandre is the only one that was believing in Stannis. Oh, because we've seen 2 other priests and priestesses claiming that Daenerys was, like, the savior, according to Lorelai. So maybe they should just, talk to each other.
Work out
and
their
just- yeah.
messaging. It's going to be interesting to see how this evolves. It really, because I'm worried that we're hoping that Melisandre is going to be the one who brings Jon back. Who, by the way, if his body's not dealt with,
Yes.
he's going to become a White Walker.
Yes, I'm surprised that they haven't brought up, like, oh, should we burn him? Because it's not like they think they can bring him back. I don't think. Or do they? I don't think it doesn't. Do you think Davos thinks that?
I think maybe that's how he comes back.
Oh, as a White Walker.
Like the Night's King.
Like the other
Yeah.
White Walker? The
Yeah.
other?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he might become him. Maybe he was saying, come at me, Crow, not so much as come at
Join
me, Crow.
me.
It's like, join me.
Yeah.
Look at what I have. You can live again.
I mean, right? He was a Lord Commander, or he was part of the Watch. I don't know how, because we still don't know how they make the White Walkers. Anyway, so
many questions.
So many questions, so many thoughts. But overall, this felt like a typical Game of Thrones season premiere episode. They always kind of start like this, laying out
each character, each storyline. Not all the storylines, because we didn't get Bran yet, so there's definitely more to unfold
Bran will
there.
come back next episode, looks like.
Yeah.
But overall, a pretty solid start to the new season. They're toying with our emotion, giving us like one little murder, giving us Melisandre as an old woman, like boom, and what?
I know, I was so pissed. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, I think when it ended, we're like, what? What? Is that why it was called the Red Ribbon?
You know why I thought that? Because I was expecting that scene where they were trying to break down the door.
Right.
And I thought, they're probably going to put that scene and they're going to end the episode. I thought they were going to do that.
They did
Not even. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what we thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? Comment below and let us know.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss any of our Game of Thrones coverage this season. And don't forget, we're going to have a live Q&A on Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time with Kenny. Don't miss it on this channel.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.
Try it.
It's going to be interesting.
That's what I live for.
Yeah.
Remember?
God.
Inside joke.